Hello everyone, let's answer third rock from the sun quiz. So there are 15 questions in the quiz and you will get 10 seconds to answer each question. Ready? Let's start now. According to scientists, how old is the Earth? The options are number 1, 60 million years old, number 2, 4,600 billion years old, number 3, 2.4 billion years old. The answer is 4,600 billion years old. The Earth to bring with was a swirling mass of gases and dust that eventually becomes solid. True or false? The answer is true. What is the core of the Earth made of? The options are number 1, silicon, number 2, iron, number 3, gold. Subscribe. The answer is iron. The core makes the Earth behave like a giant magnet. Like a magnet, the Earth too has magnetic poles. These are the same as the geographical poles. True or false? The answer is false. The atmosphere of the young Earth consisted of gases. The options are number 1, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, number 2, methane, oxygen and ammonia, number 3, helium, hydrogen and oxygen. The answer is methane, oxygen and ammonia. The earliest forms of life development around. The options are number 1, 1.5 billion years ago, number 2, 3.5 billion years ago, number 3, 150 million years ago. The answer is 3.5 billion years ago. Life evolved in the early oceans which were chemical soups. True or false? The answer is true. The first plants made food through photosynthesis and released oxygen into the atmosphere. True or false? Like. The answer is true. The Earth's climate has remained the same ever since the Earth was formed. True or false? The answer is false. In the beginning, all landmass formed a gigantic continent called Pangaea. True or false? The answer is true. The Earth's outermost solid layer is called. The options are number 1 mantle, number 2 core, number 3 crust. The answer is crust. The layer below the mantle is called. The options are number 1 asthenosphere, number 2 crust, number 3 plate. The answer is asthenosphere. The upper mantle and crust together form the options are number 1 stratosphere, number 2 atmosphere, number 3 lithosphere. Subscribe. The answer is lithosphere. The lithosphere is made up of pieces of the Earth that fit like a jigsaw puzzle. These pieces are called. The options are number 1 plates, number 2 strata, number 3 continents. The answer is plates. The areas where these pieces of Earth's jigsaw pieces meet are called. The options are number 1 ridges, number 2 boundaries, number 3 strata. The answer is boundaries. Hey! If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.